Okay, let's get right into it. We're about to uncover a wild story about streaming, a whole lot of money, and a shocking political intervention that could literally change how you watch, well, everything. This is a battle for the future of entertainment, and believe me, it's way bigger than you think.
All right, let's kick things off with the part of this story that sounds, honestly, kind of crazy. It involves one of the most powerful people in the world. See, this isn't just another corporate takeover. It's a political drama playing out at the highest levels. So you got to ask yourself, right? Why on earth is a former U.S. president getting involved in a Netflix deal? It's a question that takes us from a Hollywood boardroom straight into the halls of political power. On the surface, it's all about business. But when you start digging, you find this fascinating web of influence and strategy.
And here's the thing. We heard it from the man himself. This statement from Donald Trump kicked off a huge battle. He's raising the alarm about a potential monopoly, but as you're about to see, there was a lot more going on behind the scenes. So what exactly was everyone fighting over?
The price, well, it's one of the most iconic names in entertainment history, a true titan of the industry. We're talking about a library of content that has basically shaped pop culture for decades. So, Netflix officially moved to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery for a staggering $82.7 billion. Just let that number sink in for a second. This isn't just a big deal. This is a move designed to create an undisputed entertainment superpower.
Now this is where the scale of this thing really hits you. For years, we've all talked about Disney's empire building, right? They bought Fox, Marvel, Star Wars. But look at this. This one Netflix deal is bigger than all of those massive acquisitions combined. It's a colossal play.
So you might be thinking, why would a legendary company like Warner Bros. Even sell? Well, it's because despite owning priceless treasures, the company itself is in deep financial trouble. Think of it like a beautiful, historic mansion filled with priceless art, but the roof is leaking and the foundation is crumbling.
I mean, on one hand, they own some of the most beloved characters in the world. Batman, Harry Potter, the whole DC universe. But on the other hand, they are drowning in over $37 billion of debt. They've had a string of expensive flops at the box office, and their business model is kinda stuck in the past. They don't just want to sell, they have to.
But here's the twist. This whole acquisition isn't really about Netflix getting bigger than Disney. The real battlefield, the real war for your attention, it's being fought somewhere else entirely.
Yeah, most of us think Netflix's biggest rival is Disney+. You know, a battle of big-budget shows. But when you look at the data, a completely different story emerges. The biggest right to Netflix's future doesn't even charge a subscription fee.
And this chart just lays it all out, plain and simple. When you look at who actually makes the most money from streaming video, it's not even close. YouTube is the undisputed king of the hill, pulling in more cash than Netflix and Disney.
And the reason why is actually pretty simple. Their whole game is different. YouTube has an endless library, it's supported by ads, and most importantly, it's free. Netflix has amazing content, but you gotta pay for it. And in a lot of places around the world, free is an unbeatable price. So what's Netflix's secret weapon? Ads. They're building their own YouTube killer, a cheaper plan with ads, and it's growing incredibly fast. But here's the catch. For an ad business to work, you need a ton of content to keep people watching, and that is exactly why they need Warner's library. Not for the next blockbuster, but for hundreds and hundreds of episodes of shows like Friends that people will just watch on repeat. So the deal is looking good. Netflix is about to pull off this massive win. And then, boom. Just when it seemed like a sure thing, politics entered the game in the most dramatic way you can imagine.
So here's the play-by-play. Step 1, Netflix puts its offer on the table. Step 2, all of a sudden you start hearing chatter from regulators and from Trump himself about a monopoly. And then, right on cue, a rival, Paramount, launches what's called a hostile offer, going right to the shareholders with their own bid.
Now, Paramount's bid wasn't just bigger at $100 billion, it was all cash, which is way more attractive. But here's the real bombshell. A key backer of the Paramount deal is a fund called Affinity Partners, a firm directly connected to the Trump family.
And just like that, the whole conversation flips. Suddenly, the argument against Netflix, that it would be a monopoly, is reframed. If Paramount buys Warner, well, the news story is that it's just healthy competition. It's a classic political move, and it shows that when you're playing with this much money, business and politics are pretty much the same thing.
Okay, so that's all the corporate and political drama. But let's get down to what really matters. How does all this fighting in boardrooms and Washington actually affect your wallet and what you can watch?
Because make no mistake, it will.
There's this word the industry loves to use, churn. It's just a fancy term for when we cancel our subscriptions. And we all do it, right? You sign up to watch that one big show, you binge it in a weekend, and then you're out. This entire deal is designed to stop that from ever happening again.
So if this deal goes through and Netflix becomes this massive dominant force, what does that mean for us? Well, it could mean higher prices, because really, where else are you going to go? It could mean more predictable, safe shows designed by an algorithm, and it could mean movies spend way less time in theaters before hitting Netflix, changing the cinema experience forever. So that leaves us with this final, really critical question about the future of entertainment. Do we want the convenience of one single platform that has everything we could ever want to watch? Or is it actually better for us, the viewers, to have more competition and more choices, even if it's a little less convenient? That's the dilemma at the very heart of this high-stakes battle.